let's take up this homework. So you are given this equation, y equals 3 over 4x minus 2. So your m is 3 over 4. Your b is negative 2. So your y-intercept is negative 2. That's what we always plot first. So on your axis, put negative 2. There's your first point. And then from this point, do your slope, which is rise over run. So up 3 over 4. There's your second point, and there's your line. Does this slope suggest a positive or negative slope? Positive. So it should be going this way, rising to the right. Right. Similarly, this one, negative 2x plus 3. I know my y-intercept is 3, and my slope is negative 2. So first off, plot the 3, and then a negative 2 slope means I go down the elevator 2 and over 1 to the right. So there's my line for, and this slope, does it have a positive or negative slope? Negative, and so your line should be going this way, right? So whenever you plot the lines, make sure you double check to see if it makes sense. Okay, I've seen a lot of people tell me negative slope and then they draw a line that goes like this. Okay, number 1C right here, you had to rearrange the equation first because it was not in y equals mx plus b form, which means I have to move this 6x over. When I move the 6x, it becomes negative 6x. And then the 2, divide everything by 2. So y equals negative 3x plus 4. That's when you divide. You have that. Negative slope with a y-intercept of 4. So there's the point. Go down 3 over 1. There's your line. Okay. This one right here, same idea, but a little harder because you have the negative y. Okay, so move that x over, move that 4 over. Don't forget to change the sign. And then here, when you divide by negative 2, 1x divided by negative 2, your slope is negative 1 over 2. Okay, remember your slope is just is a number, no x for your slope. So your slope here, the invisible 1, so negative 1 over 2. Okay, negative 4 divided by negative 2 gives you positive 2. So your y-intercept plus 2. So here's your y-intercept, down 1, and then over 2 to the right. There's your line with a negative slope. Okay, so you need to know how to rearrange equations. You need to know how to graph a line given the equation. Okay, number 2 right here. Okay, I gave you guys a line, and then I gave you 2 points. So I gave you this point and this point. So just looking at it, you can tell that your y-intercept is right here, which is 2. And then going from the left point to the right point, you do your rise over run. So how do you get from here to here? You go up 4 and then 1 to the right. So your slope is 4 over 1. Now 4 over 1 is just the same as 4. So you should technically write that your slope is 4. Okay? When you write your equation, what's wrong with this? Okay, I have my m, I have my b. What's wrong with this, what I wrote right here? You'll get only half mark for this equation. Y equals 4 over 1x plus 2. What's wrong with it? Yeah.
It's 4x plus 2 because they can divide 4 in 1 each.
Right. Simplify. You should always write your equation in simplest form. So yes, 4 over 1, we use it to visualize the slope. But when you write your final answer as an equation, you should just have that 4. Always simplify.
The slope is 4 over 2. We simplify to 2 over 1.
2. Just 2, yes. Okay. But if it's like 2 over 3, they leave it as a fraction because it's not reducible. Right? So this, if it's reducible, you have to reduce. Okay, so I don't want to see that over 1 for your equation. The 4 over 1 is to help you visualize your rise over run. Okay, this one right here, for this line, I actually didn't give you any points on it. All right, but how many points is on the line? How many points is on a line? Infinite, right? So you actually have an infinite number of choices to pick your 2 points. So here, what's a good point to choose? What's the smart point to choose? Crosses. What is this? The y-intercept. That's right. You definitely want to choose this point because choosing this point, you can figure out what your y-intercept is right away. All right. Another point, you can choose anywhere on the line as long as it's nice and easy to read. So I actually chose this point. If this is called my y-intercept, what is this point called? Yeah, x-intercept. Right? So I chose this one and this one. So if I do the rise over run, my slope is -1/2. All right. And so I know what my m is. I know what my b is. I wrote this equation. What's wrong with this equation? Yeah. Yeah, this plus minus right here. We don't like plus minus. Okay, so what does it simplify to? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Maria?
I was going to y equals to -1/2x plus, not plus, just negative, just -1.
Right, just -1. Where did it go? Where did the wasp go? Where is it? Behind me?
Yeah.
Where?
It's on the yellow paper.
Yellow paper? Oh, I see it. Can I kill it? Okay, so these ones you should be able to do. And I hope you guys did it. This one right here. Y is greater than -3x minus 3. So your slope is -3, and your y-intercept is -3 as well. So I plot that y-intercept went down 3/1. There's my second dot. But why did I not draw a solid line? Yeah, right. It's only greater than. There's no equal to sign. And so that's why it's a dotted line. How many of you remember to do a dotted line instead of a solid line? Good. You guys paid attention in class. All right. And because it says greater than, I'm going to shade in the top part of my line. So we state the WAPS and how the WAPS is going to attack somebody outside. See, you hear them struggling now? Okay. Okay. So don't forget to shade in when it's an inequality. All right. Y equals. I'm pretending you didn't see that. Y equals 4. What's your slope? Yeah. Sorry? 0, because there's no x, so it's like 0x. And what's your y-intercept? 4. So I'll put a point on the floor. Because m equals 0, it means that horizontal line. M equals 0 does not mean undefined slope. They're two separate things. I don't like anything that flies. Alright, so this, alright, the x equals 5, you get this line like that. This one. Alright, let's just try this one first. Okay, what's my m? What's my b? Yep. 3 and 2. Good. Okay, so I'm gonna plot my y-intercept. Alright, and then from that point, I'm gonna go. Yep. 1, 2, 3.
And then go to the right one.
Over 1. Perfect. Okay, what type of line am I gonna draw? It's an inequality. So should I draw what type of line? Yeah.
Solid.
Solid, yes. Even if it's inequality, you can still have solid lines. So it's a solid line because there's that equal to sign. But with inequality, what do I have to do as my last step? Here. Which part? Right, the below. Okay, so y is less than, so anything below your line. So you have to shade in this part. Okay. This one right here, write the inequality of this. Okay, so I chose my y-intercept, as we said, that was a good choice to do. And then another point. This time, I don't want to choose my x-intercept because it's not quite on the grid. It's hard to see. So another point that was easier was this one right here. Okay, so my y-intercept, looking at that point, it was b is equal to 5. What's my slope from this point to this point? Ellen? Okay, let me finish up this one and we'll get back to it. Okay, yeah. Sorry? You use the x-intercept, but this x-intercept is not quite on the grid, so that was not the best point. 6 over 5, right? So rise is 6, run is 5. Okay, confirm that it is a positive slope, so it matches, and that's my y-intercept. So what's my equation for this one, Austin?
Y is greater than 6 over 5x plus 5.
All right, so close. He lost half a mark though. He remembered the inequality. Yeah.
Oh, greater and equal.
Greater and equal to. Yeah, you said greater, but you forgot the equal to. Okay, because if it's not, it would have been just a dotted line. Because it's a solid line, so that's why it's greater or equal to. And because it's shaded, you know it's an inequality. Okay, so this one was tricky. Yeah, they think so too. Okay, this one, just want to go over quickly. I have a number outside a bracket. So what you want to do before you write it in y equals mx plus b form is to distribute it. Distribute meaning multiply. So 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 2, 6. Now when you move that 1 over, you subtract 1. So your equation would be y equals 3x plus 5. Okay. Okay, last one right here. I'm trying to cover up the answer. Cover up this answer here. Okay, so the slope is 4 over 5, and it goes through the point 0, 1. What does this point 0, 1 imply? Yep.
It passed through the origin, passed through the origin.
Not origin.
The y.
Y-intercept, right? This is the exact same thing as saying your y-intercept is 1. Right? Which means b is 1. Alright? So on the test, on the assignment, I don't always just tell you b is 1 or y-intercept is 1. I could tell you in a point form. Okay? And when you plot that point, you'll see that it's actually your y-intercept. So you have m, you have b, so your equation is simply that. Okay? What about this? A slope of 0, and it goes through 0, 4. Who can tell me the equation of this one? That's it.
Y plus 4.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so your y-intercept is 4. It's a horizontal line that goes through 4. And so your equation is y equals 4. Okay, our lesson next week is going to you're going to have these ones where it's not the point on the y-axis. And then there will be some math involved. Right? But this is like a heads up of what to expect for next week. Ellen, your question for this one. Sorry. Yeah. No. You're right. it was negative too. So it should have been down here. Yes.
Why do we not learn a point slope one?
point slope. What do you mean?
Like we did a standard form and the intercept form.
Yeah.
Why don't we do the point slope form?
These two are the most common ones, and it's more important. And then next week you'll see it. Yeah, when we have other points. Okay, so that was the homework from yesterday. How many of you were able to do the majority of these questions? Good. Okay, so this is like the core of this whole linear relation unit. So when we have that big unit test, you'll be fine. Okay, we'll do more practice. Well, there will be. Okay, so today we'll do the short assignment. I haven't decided. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so today we'll do the short assignment, and then next week we'll do the mathematical calculation, the last bit, and then we'll review everything that we've done.